send this bitch up.
Okay.
Talk it up, talk it up, talk it up.
Wow, guys. What a day.
We can send this bitch up, big king go down. If you know the song, you know it.
Okay, calm down, bro.
I need to
Wow. What a day,
my
guys.
eyes,
What a day.
freaking brightness is crazy right now.
So as you guys probably know, if you've been following the channel for a little bit now, we live in Sydney, Australia. We're both Americans. We live in Sydney, Australia, and we woke up to the news. So imagine everything that happened today, and then just waking up, and your entire phone is completely blowing up.
You just like have to process it all at once.
It's hard to process. You're literally waking up. You're trying to get like the fog out of your brain, and then you're looking at your phone. You're like, wait, what? So Russ is gone. Yeah, wow. I mean, so much has been impacted in Dynasty by one trade and one decision to stay. So Aaron Rodgers
100%.
is staying in Green Bay. All those of you who have AJ Dillon, Aaron Jones, they become much more relevant for the next couple of years. Those who have Jordan Love, I expect him to be traded because it doesn't make sense for them to keep him. I mean, they have a 5th-year option, but surely get some sort of value for him.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make sense just to keep him on your bench at this point. And then the Russ trade, man. The Russ trade is crazy. Obviously helps Judy, helps Sutton, helps Javonte. Albert O now looks like a viable tight end option. Also keeping in mind that Russ has never really made tight ends super relevant. I guess you could say Jimmy Graham, but Russ has never really been the tight end relevant quarterback, and especially with all the weapons in that offense. We'll have to wait and see. But Noah Fant leaving, Russ coming, I think really helps Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. Here's what I'll say. Rankings, we're already, twitching with our rankings right now. We're already playing with our rankings right now. So everyone over there on Patreon who wants a new set of rankings for the offseason, in a couple of days, we will send over a little message over there on Patreon, and you'll get access to those new rankings. Breaking news, Josh Gordon has re-signed with the Chiefs. Oh, my God. Sorry, that was a joke. Anyway, it's... I
got scared. Crazy. I was like, no.
Crazy. What's up, everybody in the chat? Thank you so much for joining. I love that everyone's having convos with each other. A little community forming here. What's up, Adam? What's up, Voice of Reason? BZ, Dave, Adam. I said that already. Drusiv, Tommy, your boy, Bricks. Happening? Brian's in the chat. Trippy's in the chat. Michael's in the chat. Stephen Day. As a Seahawks fan, I'm here because pain is all I can feel right now. I feel bad for you, Steven. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Welcome, everyone. Calder. The great Caldini. What's up, guys? Garrett. Wow. Crazy, guys. Crazy. I'm so glad to see everyone.
It is crazy.
And also the Ridley news. I mean, did we go live yesterday for that news? Oh, yes, we did.
We didn't go live. We did go live, but we didn't talk about it. We didn't really talk about it as depth, but it was just funny the timing of how we released that video earlier that day, and then all that stuff kind of came out. Yeah. But yeah, very, very interesting stuff. I think my biggest surprise, I always felt like Russ was going to get traded. I didn't think that Aaron Rodgers was going to get a 4-year deal.
So that deal's not real, by the way.
Is that confirmed? Not real?
No. So the report that Ian
what's the deal?
Tweeted out, there's no official deal yet. Nothing is official. So we'll see. I don't think it'll. If it's 4 years, that's really mind blowing. To be honest,
that's what I'm saying.
I
didn't
think it would be 4 years.
Because what is he? 38 right now?
Yeah, he's gonna play till he's 42.
Yeah, unless every single year there's an out for him, and that's okay. And I think he's going to try one more time. And if they don't have enough money to bring in Devontae Adams back, I think that's going to be a big factor for Aaron Rodgers. So
yeah, well, Devontae Adams will be back, of course. They're going to tag him. But yeah, it's crazy. Crazy day. 4 years, $200 million was reported, but that was also denied. Like, there's no official deal. So we'll see. Nothing is completely official just yet. Brian says, is this a mock or a real draft? Okay, so tonight, this is a mock draft, okay? We did a draft order reveal yesterday on the live stream for one of our real drafts, which will be coming up in the next couple months. If anyone does want to join a league, our second league that we just opened is almost halfway full now. So as soon as we opened it,
people signed up so fast, it's crazy.
If you do want to be a part of that league and support us over on Patreon and get, our rankings and have that kind of community unlocked, I will paste that link in the chat in case anyone's interested.
Yeah. Shout out to those people that signed up already, actually. I know Jacob, Ryan, Don, Joey, all those guys that just signed up recently.
Don't forget Meatball, bro. Meatball signed up today.
I think Joey is Meatball.
Is he?
I could be wrong, but yeah, thank you guys so much for coming through, supporting us, and then can't wait to beat you in fantasy.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So that's going to be a fun time. So we're doing a Dynasty startup draft, and I'm glad we're doing a startup draft because I'm really curious to see where people are going to go. Where is Russ going to go? Where is Judy, Sutton, Alberto, Fant? Where is Rogers going to go now if it's a 4-year deal? This will be really, really interesting to see what might change from last week. So we are doing a Dynasty SuperFlex startup draft, and it will be PPR, not tight end premium. If you want to join us tonight, this is big. Listen, if you want to join us, all you have to do is join our Discord. Okay, so there's a comment that is pinned from our account where it has the link to join our Discord, and then in our Discord, you will see a text channel. Oh, hi. Thanks, buddy. Oh, thanks. Sorry, I just got bubble tea delivered to me. Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
Come here.
Say hello. This is Zach's son, everyone. If you guys don't know, he has a son. Little Zach, they call him. Nah, jokes. It's his nephew.
I love you, bud. Thanks. That's my
Little
nephew.
Zach.
I don't have a son.
Little Zach.
Thank you guys. So if you want to join the Discord, I don't have a kid. Everyone in the chat saying like, you have a kid? No, I can't even take care of myself, let alone another human being. That is one of the things that scares me most about life is one day knowing I'm going to have to pretend to know how to care about a kid or knowing how to actually properly take care of a kid.
Having children and dying are the biggest fears for Zach here.
I am afraid of death. Let's put it all out on the table right now, okay? We're all dying every day. We're getting closer to death ever since you were born, okay? Okay, anyway, here we go. So if you want to join tonight's mock draft, when you join the Discord in the Dynasty Dammit tab, you will see a Dynasty mock draft text channel. That is where the link will be sent. Now it is first come, first serve. So whoever gets in, gets in. If you don't get in and you've never been able to get in, let's say you miss out on this one. The next one that you want to get in, again, like, we don't want people who just always get in messaging us and saying like, hey, can I get in? But for those people who aren't able to get in, we want everyone to get a chance to mock with us. So, if you're not able to get in tonight, just message us over there on Discord. And before the next mock draft, about 15 minutes before we do our next one, and we'll make sure and hook you up. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty sure like that's it.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Please let us know if you have any questions. We're happy to help. We're actually really excited about this. What flavor bubble tea did you get?
So this is called Premium Pearl. It's just a nice sweet flavor, with the tapioca balls at the bottom. I get half pearls, you know what I mean? I get half pearls. I don't want too many pearls, but
right. Bubble tea is just essentially like, think of sweet tea that you can think of sweet tea that has little gummies in it. That's the best way I can really explain it. For people that haven't had sweet bubble tea.
Brian says Rogers is signed, Russ traded, and Zach having kids all confirmed today. What a day!
actually though.
Bubble tea is actually huge here in Sydney, Australia. In Australia in general, it's not very big in America, from what I remember, at least the places I lived. But it's a good little snack. I like it. Okay, so anyway, let's get back. Some people are watching and they're like, "Okay, are we going to talk about football at all today?" So we are doing a Dynasty startup draft. And Badaki, you have the link that you can send there. Why don't you let people know? And by the way, if you haven't dropped a like, it would mean a lot to us if you could drop that like. Our like goal is 75 likes. If we hit 75 likes, I have to do whatever the poll is telling me to do. So either I will DM Calvin Ridley on Instagram. He's not going to reply, but I'll ask him for betting tips, or I will clean shave my beard. And I guarantee you my wife wants me to clean shave. She likes it. I hate it. I feel like I look like a little baby. Badaki. So why don't you paste that link, or just let people know when you're pasting that link? I'm talking too much. Go ahead.
I'm just doing bad, man. I'm giving everyone the Ukadukes on the chat here. All right, 3, 2, 1, done. Sent. See you there.
All right, let's see how fast this fills up.
Garrett, 100%. Garrett he's genuinely hacking 100% every single
Garrett
time.
is hacking.
He's always the first one in. Tommy, your boy Briggs Broccoli is big in the Asian community. If you guys need maybe I won't say that. Unless you want to say it, you want me to say it.
What?
If you guys want a community in Arizona somewhere.
If anyone lives in Arizona and you want a community, let us know. We got hookups for you.
We got hookups, man. Get your front row seat.
All right, we got Trippy here. We got Ravenger. I'm pretty sure Ravenger is. Let me look at the Discord. I can't open my Discord right now.
I think Ravenger isn't Ravenger Ryan?
Yes, I believe Ravenger is Ryan. Mm-hmm. Let me see. I'm just gonna open my Discord from my phone. We set up his fantasy hotline here. Yes, it is Ryan. Ryan Anthony, welcome, brother. Casey's here. Lawrence is here. Connor's here. Calder, Garrett. I am here. Josiah's here. Runner, Badaki, and JJ Short.
You can
honestly, guys, if you want to figure out how Garrett gets in, just DM him. He's way too quick with it. Again, here's what I'll say. If you haven't never been able to get into one of these drafts, whether it's the Dynasty Startups or the rookie drafts, the next one that you want to get in, message us 15 minutes before we go live and say, I've never been able to get in, and I promise you we will get you into a mock. That's what we did for, I think, someone today. We did that for someone here as well. So so don't worry. You will be able to get into a mock with us at some point. But just so everyone's on the same page, this is a Dynasty SuperFlex startup mock draft. It is 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, 2 flexes, and a super flex. It is not tight end premium. We will put 60 seconds on the clock, and then we will go to 30 seconds after that.
What a day, man. What a day.
So we see Josh Allen. We'll kind of mute that sound until some of the quarterbacks are off the board. I'm going to try and make our cameras maybe a little bit smaller. Are we a little bit too big? I don't know. Let us know.
I think it looks fine personally, but that's up to you. Yeah, very interesting to see where all these new people are going to go now. You know, Jerry Jeudy. I think even somebody like a Tim Patrick that can come in and really take off. You know, I said this in our one of our follower leagues in the chat. And I was like, is it confirmed going to be Jerry Jeudy or Tim Patrick? I know Jerry Jeudy is talented, no doubt about it. I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm saying like Russell Wilson loves to throw the ball deep, and Tim Patrick in that offense at the time without Russ was a deep ball threat. You know, he was the guy that was streaking down the field getting it. So I wonder if they're going to use Tim Patrick still in that way. And maybe
here's my issue with it, right? I don't think that there was like enough consistency in that offense to really know who is a deep ball threat outside of probably like Cortland Sutton. You know, I felt like he was the most consistent deep ball threat for Locke. So it's really hard to say.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to say for sure. So
we have Allen off the board, then Mahomes, Herbert, Burrow, Murray, and then Jamar Chase, and then Lamar Jackson. So I'm actually drafting at the 8 spot.
This is a good opportunity for you to really just feel it out.
In our newest follower Dynasty League, I got the 8 spot. So now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, okay, do I want Jonathan Taylor or Justin Jefferson? Man, that's a really tough decision. Do I want Jonathan Taylor or Justin Jefferson? I'm just going to check out my rankings. I obviously know where I have them ranked. I'm just trying to look at Just trying to process right now. I think I'm gonna go JT, but give me a second to think this through fully.
Well, just feel it out, you know. I mean,
I'm gonna go JT here. I'm gonna try.
See
JT.
how you feel. See how you feel, you know. Because once you take him, you'll be like, I hate this draft, and maybe you should have gone Justin Jefferson moving forward.
Maybe.
So, okay. See, now this is a huge problem for me now.
Yeah, the 11 and 12 spot are really hard to draft from.
So now I have the 11th spot in our follower league. So now, do I go with
just while you're thinking through that? There are rookies in here, guys. I'm looking at the chat. There are some rookies here. All the rookies are here, actually, so you can draft them wherever you want to. And yes, you can also draft Malik Willis. I love the convos that I'm seeing in the chat. The community is coming together. Okay, what's the thought process here?
I'm either thinking about Javonte Williams or a quarterback. The thing is, I don't want to take Dak Prescott. Okay, I'm gonna try something different here. I think once all the situation is resolved, I think Deshaun's gonna be. I'm taking Deshaun Watson here.
Wow. Okay.
I think this is what's gonna happen. I'm just doing hypotheticals. Once everything's resolved, probably Deshaun Watson's gonna be up here, 6, 7,
For
5,
me,
6,
I think that's
7.
where he's gonna go.
Yeah, I know.
If things get resolved.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So then now I'm going to play the strategy of trying to get 2 quarterbacks. You see Trey Lance, which makes my decision easier. Then I'll just go Justin Fields.
All right.
And I'm okay with that.
Betting
I'm okay
big on Jay Fields. You know, I think that might be less than ideal for Runner Meep, not having any chance at a quarterback. But I could be wrong.
Exactly.
Maybe he's extremely happy with that. And now I'm pretty happy because, to be honest, I was really hoping to get an elite wide receiver in this draft, and my wide receiver 3 is still sitting on the board, and that is A.J. Brown. So I'm gonna go ahead and take A.J. Brown here, which I'm more than happy with to have as my wide receiver 1 in Dynasty. So we see Javonte, then Swift. We have a video on our channel where we debate between Javonte and Najee Harris. Would maybe be worth your time to go watch it. I have a different opinion to Badaki. It was a fun one to record. And by the way, apparently Watson's legal situation is going to be slightly more cleared up on Friday. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. That's just what we've heard. Okay, we don't have sources, but that's just what we've heard.
And that's the reason why I took Deshaun Watson there. You know, because if he is cleared, if everything goes and he goes to a new team, like I said, he probably won't even be available to me at the 111. So maybe I probably will have to take Dak, or probably will have to take a Trey Lance at the 111. You know, it just really depends on who's going to fall, because it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
All right, so we get a run of players after AJ, by the way, with Waddle, Pitts, and Lamb. And to be honest, at the 2-5, it was between AJ, Waddle, and Pitts for me. So I definitely think that those were the exact right picks to go off the board. I don't think it's too high for Kyle Pitts. Go try and trade for Kyle Pitts in any of your leagues right now. It's absolutely impossible. The draft capital that you would have to give up is similar to guys like Justin Jefferson, you know, like Jamar Chase. Like, that's how hard it is to trade for Kyle Pitts, because he's only 21 years old. He has all that he needs to be an elite tight end for a decade. So I love that pick there. And then CeeDee Lamb at the 2-8. It's not tight end premium. It's not tight end premium, no.
I'm all started here. Here we go. Yeah, not tight end premium. It's going to, we'll see. We'll see. And this is what's so hard drafting at the end, because, like, man, I think these running backs and these wide receivers are going to come back to me. I might have to either reach, or I'm going to have to, like, I feel like one of my positions is going to be weak. I feel like, obviously, that's obvious, but
yeah, I knew someone was going to comment about your field selection. They can't get behind it, Badaki.
And that's okay. That's okay. I like Justin Fields. I believe in Justin Fields. I know there's some parts of the community that don't believe in him. I do believe he probably will be the most, from what I've been saying ever since he's been drafted, that he will be the most successful quarterback from that class. That's what I'm backing. That's what I've always believed.
Here's what I'll say on Fields. I love Fields, and I don't think it's too early to take him there. I think you can justify it, but there's other players you can justify as well, right? You guys should go look at Justin Fields' clean pocket production because it is quite significant compared to when he's being pressured most of the time. So you get a good offensive line around Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty happy about getting him maybe late second round in a startup.
Right. Yeah, you see, and that's what people are saying. Like, there's too many question marks for Deshaun, you know. So is he going to play? We don't know, and this is why we mock, you know, because if he does, once that's guaranteed, if he does,
you would know that information by the time you did this. You're assuming that he's going to play.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's going to play, and I'm assuming that he's going to play either the full season. If he does get suspended for 4 games, I saw somebody say that, or 2 games, I still think Deshaun Watson is worth the risk of taking. If he does come back, plays, gets suspended for 4 games, I think people are still going to take him at the 105, 106, 107, even with that knowledge. So it just really depends on who you believe in.
Totally. And, you know, obviously, if we do these startups, and we will know the Watson situation. So if he's back and he has a 2-game suspension or whatever it is, then you'll know where to take him. But
yeah, for sure.
So Cup goes at the 210, Debo at the 211, Hurts at the 212. You guys know I'm not a big Hurts believer, but I just can't justify taking him in the second round. But that's just my opinion. Then T. Higgs, Tyreek, Stafford, and Joe Moneybag Mixon. And then we see Breece Hall at the 3.5, ladies and gentlemen.
I think this is the highest we've ever seen Breece Hall
go. But
I
think it makes sense, though.
100%. This is the highest we've ever seen him go, and it does make sense. And I like it. I like.
You know, we haven't implemented the rookies into our rankings just yet, and I am trying to justify where I would put Breece. I think he would be in my top 10. I don't know about my top. Oh my God, Russell Wilson is still on the board. Is he really still on the board?
100% still on the board.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I was worried about what quarterback I was going to get, but with Russell Wilson still on the board, I will happily take him. We had a buy or sell for him when he was still in Seattle. I still feel the same way about him, so I'm going to go ahead and grab Russell Wilson here at the 3.8. As my first quarterback, I feel great about that. That's fantastic. What was I going to say? Yeah, I'm trying to kind of figure out where Breece is going to go. You know, the thing is, if Breece, with draft capital, I feel like that matters so much more for running backs than almost any other position. So we'll have to wait and see.
Devontae Adams now. So these guys, a lot of question marks I feel like have been resolved. You know, Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin was a big one. You know, Russ was a question mark, but he still goes at the 3.8, which is interesting.
Yeah, I thought he would go earlier, but that's just my opinion.
I thought so as well. So now,
trying to chew my tapioca.
Okay, now I'm on the board here. Do I go wide? I have to go wide receiver.
So Runner Meep is just loading up on the running backs right now.
I know. That's crazy.
RB University.
And this is where it gets difficult, man.
Hey, just while you're making that pick, Badaki, big shout out to Alan, who just signed up to our Patreon. I'm assuming that you signed up. I'm assuming that you signed up to the Dynasty leagues. I'll have to double check that. I'll have to look in Patreon after this. But shout out to you, my guy. I mean, we are now more than halfway filled on our second
league already.
Dynasty league of the offseason. But Alan, just so you know, you signed up to the redraft league. If you meant to sign up to the Dynasty league, then just edit your tier to be the Dynasty league. But hey, we'll message you afterwards. We'll send you a message. But excited to play in a league with you, bro. So you went Elijah Moore at the 3.11. Are you ready for people to absolutely destroy you in the comments, Badaki?
And
everyone's got
okay.
an opinion, so.
And that's okay. I'm okay with that. I think I'm gonna go with. I'm still gonna try to go youth here. Once again, if you're on the edges, you kind of have to. You have to reach. You gotta reach. And I don't think Elijah Moore would have came back to me there at the 5.11. But the 4.2. This is hard, bro. I haven't drafted on this side for a long time. Do I go running back here?
You're good, Alan. Just switch that over to Dynasty, and then we'll send you a message. I think it automatically sends you out a message. But yeah, appreciate you, bro. We'll talk soon. Excited to play Dynasty with you. Drusef says Elijah Moore reminds him so much of Antonio Brown. He's fun to watch, man. Elijah Moore is a weapon for sure. Brian says Badaki is somehow going to get an A grade from Zack Attack. We actually don't grade each other's mocks.
We don't. I'm going to go another reach. Not a reach, but I want to go another rookie. I'm going to go Garrett Wilson.
The only reason we don't grade each other's mocks is just to save time, but we could do that.
You guys can grade our teams if you like. I guess in the chat, it's kind of hard for us to go through all the thought processes and if you guys to break each and every player down, but I'm happy either way.
All right, so I'm just looking at the board. All right, so I was actually going to consider Marky Mark there. I'm not going to lie. So that does change my strategy a little bit. Excuse me. So this is interesting. Who's I feel like it's too early for quarterback.
Yeah, bro, it's very difficult. I don't remember the last time I drafted here at the 111, and I'm over here like struggling. I know. I hope I can get these guys. I'm gonna put these guys.
All right, this is pretty difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but I am going to. I think I'm gonna go running back here. I just have a higher tiered running back at this point available. Nah, I can't do it. I'm just gonna take Mac Jones. I didn't know what to do, so I'm just gonna get my second quarterback out of the way.
What was your thought process? Because I'm surprised.
There's a couple players that I want, but okay. I don't want to talk about them because I'm betting that at least one of them come back to me.
Right. I'm surprised that like you still haven't gone wide receiver, and obviously this is a whole. You do have a wide receiver in AJ Brown.
Yeah.
But usually you go really heavy wide receiver.
It's all about who's available on the board at that time, right?
100%,
so like for
100%.
me. The next player in my rankings as far as wide receivers go would be, I believe, Terry McLaurin. But I didn't really want to select Terry McLaurin there.
There goes Michael Pittman.
Michael Pittman would have been the next person in my rankings after Terry. So, yeah, it's difficult. But I guess I just wanted to solidify that quarterback room. There's still a lot of wide receivers I like. And the quarterbacks are about to go quick. So, in my opinion. 4th, 5th round, everyone's trying to get that second quarterback. It's not that I don't love Diggs. I do love Diggs. I just don't want to invest into him in a startup. I don't know if that makes sense, guys. Like a lot of people see like Diggs lower. They see Devontae Adams lower sometimes. And they just, I guess they're confused as to why we wouldn't select them. I guess I just don't want to invest into him long term. I know he's going to be great, right? For like the next... I don't know, however long, maybe 2 or 3 years, he's got elite years left. But I just don't want to invest into him long-term on my team. If he's one of those guys who are kind of on the edge for me, which makes it a little bit difficult.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, it is probably very age-based of why, at least for me, it is very age-based. That's the reason why I don't want to invest in Diggs so early. 28 years old. He has 10, I think it was 2 more years on his contract. He does have one of the best quarterbacks in Josh Allen.
Yeah.
But I don't see him re-signing or extending his contract. So I would rather go with a younger wide receiver at that point. But if you are, for example, like D. Lawrence, it kind of looks like a win now team a little bit. You know, that makes sense taking Stephon Diggs there. So I think a lot of not the whole point of Dynasty, but a lot of the reason Dynasty, like you want to have a young team that can kind of compete now and last a long time in a way.
Yeah. I mean, look, guys, it's just a difference of philosophy there. You know, I'm pretty happy with the wide receivers or running backs that are going to fall to me. But outside of Mac or Tua, those are the last 2 quarterbacks that I was comfortable having as my quarterback 2 in a startup. So as much as I love like Zach Wilson, for me, I was pretty confident that both Tua and Mac wouldn't have been on the board there. I don't want to have Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins as my second quarterback in these kind of startups. I want a more solidified guy. So I understand where you guys are coming from, but it's more of it's just a difference of opinion there, guys. Then Gibson goes, Kenneth Walker, Devonta Smith, and Travis Etienne. I love excuse me, the ETN pick there. And I think maybe Kenneth Walker's going a little bit too high. If we're looking at just Kenneth Walker and ETN as prospects, to me, ETN's the much better prospect, but we don't know the landing spot for Walker yet, so that could definitely change.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins is a solid 15 to 20 points per week, but I don't really want, I'm okay with him as my quarterback too, but I also don't want him as my quarterback too. That's not really what I would prefer. Yeah, so now we got Malik Willis going off the board at the 5.2, highest upside in the class. But again, there's a lot of unknowns there. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm interested to see what kind of quarterback will be on the board if I was to go to a different position when it comes back to my pick. A lot of people aren't happy with the Mac Jones pick. I completely understand where you guys are coming from, but I'm gonna double down on it. I'm sorry. I'm happy with that pick right there.
Yeah, and I don't think we've done a Mac Jones video, but I mean, I'm a Mac Jones believer, and from what I saw this past year is great. Yeah. And for them to continue to bring in play, at least the expectation that they're going to continue to bring in playmakers. There's talks of Amari going there. There's talks of maybe them just acquiring a free agent or a rookie. One of these top, Treylon Burks if he falls, whatever the case may be. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave.
It's crazy,
those guys. Right? I think it'll be great.
So obviously Mac Jones. Okay, there's Judy off the board. I was curious where he was going to go. So now at the 5.4.
I had him on my queue. Interesting. I had him on my queue, so I was waiting for it.
Just a friendly reminder, guys. Mac Jones threw 22 touchdowns on 13 interceptions, and his best wide receiver was Jacoby Myers. So to me, I'm all aboard Mac Jones. I definitely think he has top 12 finishes ahead in his future. Almost threw for 4,000 yards as well. This is a player in his rookie year. Any other rookie in this class puts up those kind of numbers, I mean, we're ecstatic about them. I just think Mac Jones isn't viewed the same way because of the name, because of lack of mobility. And I understand that, but not every mobile quarterback's going to last as long as every, pocket quarterback either. So Judy goes off the board, then DJ Moore. I will say, to be honest, I do think DJ Moore should go ahead of Judy. It was so hard to rank those two guys.
It's such a hard thought process now because now DJ Moore has always had a inconsistent quarterback his whole career.
It was DJ Moore and Judy back to back for me in my rankings after that move.
Now Judy has a consistent quarterback. We haven't seen it yet, but the thought process is that this is Russ, a top 5, top 10 quarterback in fantasy for years, 10 plus years. So oh man, I don't know. It's definitely difficult, but I think maybe you go youth because Jerry Judy's younger, or I don't know.
Hey, Brian, we're not against Kirk Cousins in fantasy. We love Kirk Cousins in fantasy, but we can't look at the past 2 years in Dynasty only. We also have to project the future, right? Okay, so if I wasn't to go quarterback, look at the quarterbacks I'm looking at here. Matt Corral, some of the rookies, Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr. I mean, I maybe could just see things a little bit differently to some of the guys in the chat, but for me, those aren't guys I'm super comfortable with having as my top quarterbacks. And wouldn't you know it, Terry McLaurin is just sitting there. And so is Deontay Johnson. I know you guys are higher on Deontay Johnson than me, like the community is in general. Oh, do I go Terry or Deontay here? I'm gonna go Terry. I'm gonna follow my rankings. I'm happy with that, man. I would much rather have Mac Jones and Terry McLaurin than, let's say, Michael Pittman and Kirk Cousins is probably what that would have looked like. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Mitchell at the 5.7. That's pretty good value. What did Jerry Jeudy end up being? Wide receiver 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. He was a wide receiver 18 off the board. He is my wide receiver 18. So after that move, so I'm actually comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with that move. And then Alvin Kamara at the 5.9, Deontay Johnson at the 5.10. Some people aren't going to like that I picked Terry over Deontay. That's okay. I understand your perspective. For me, a lot of Deontay's fantasy relevancy came from the fact that Big Ben could not throw the ball down the field. It came from the fact that that's how the offense was set up, was for a player like Diontae Johnson to absolutely thrive. We have a buy or sell on Diontae, and I think you guys should check that out because I did bring some insight that I hope will open people's eyes on Diontae, as it might not be a player that you can rely on long term if the offense changed. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Play for keeps. You're always so interested in the process, my guy. I've noticed. You don't know what to do here?
I have no idea. I feel like I should go Chris Godwin, but obviously I'm going to go Chris Godwin. Well, you're about to
get auto-picked. Okay, it went Godwin.
I got Godwin. It's so difficult at the 111 here.
Here's what I'll say as far as rankings go. We obviously look at what they've done in the past. Okay, so the production that they have had in the past. We also look at what we are predicting for them in the future. We look at contracts. We look at players around them, so depth chart. And as we go through that process, then we go through our rankings, right? I think you also had a question on how we scout our players. And in the scouting process, we use film. So we will look at least 3 full games, all the snaps, and then we will make judgments based off of what we see from the film. We give each player, whether it's a wide receiver, quarterback, running back, we grade them on a 1 to 10 in 10 different areas, I believe. And then obviously the combine is going to have about 10% as well impact on those rankings. So we're not going to be able to completely show you the process here on the stream, but I hope that helps. Godwin at the 5'11", then Montgomery, and then Derrick Henry at the 6'1". You're on the board, Badaki. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm just going through my rankings again. Oh my gosh, this is terrible.
Let me say one last thing, okay? One last thing I'll say on Diontae Johnson.
17. Once again, I have no idea who to take here. I'm just going to take another wide receiver.
Let's go, team! Let's go!
You went St. Brown? Okay. He's kind of falling compared to where he was going. I think the hype is starting to wear down a little bit, which I'm happy with.
Yeah. The reason why I took Godwin, because I know someone said Godwin without a franchise quarterback. I mean, the talks is that the Tampa Bay is in contention of trying to get Deshaun Watson. So if that happens, then maybe if Godwin falls, or if Godwin, hypothetically, Deshaun Watson goes to Tampa Bay, Godwin is going a lot higher compared to all these other, where he's going right now. I know he's injured, but I think maybe people will still take the opportunity to try to get him if he does re-sign and continues with Tampa, even though he did get franchise tag, but who knows?
Yeah. All right. I will explain that Diontae Johnson take a little bit further in depth here in 1 second. And either, people are able to see where I'm coming from or they're not. And either way, that's okay. It's okay to have differing opinions here.
Yeah, I'm going hell as there are, B-boys.
All right.
Someone's got to commit.
I think I'm going to go a rookie wide receiver here. And I'm going to go Chris Olave.
Okay.
Wow.
But just quickly, last thing I'll say about Diontae Johnson, I brought a take as to why I'm not very high on him on our channel. You have to keep in mind, how did he get fantasy points in 2021, okay? Big Ben couldn't throw the long ball to save his life. Big Ben ranked 31st in pass yards per throw, okay? Diontae ranked 90th in yards per catch. The entire offense was set up around the fact that the offensive line was weak and Big Ben couldn't throw a long ball to save his life. So a lot of Diontae's fantasy relevancy came from, I guess, the weaknesses of Big Ben's game. And I'm not sure that that's going to happen with a new quarterback. So I get where you guys are coming from. I still like Diontae. I don't think he's a solidified top 15 guy going forward. So that's just my opinion. Could be right, could be wrong. Olave goes in Williams, Matt Corral, TJ Hawkinson, and Darren Waller off the board. So some tight ends are falling here.
I'm going, yeah.
Calder is upset at you for taking St. Brown.
It's all right. I was going to go with what somebody else said in the chat. It's pretty obvious who it is, but I thought it was a little bit of a reach, but maybe at the edge there at the 111, I should have taken him, but we're going to see who else comes back to me. I definitely need a running back. So I have a couple running backs on queue right now. So hopefully these guys come back to me.
Yeah.
But I doubt he is going to make it back. I think some other people will, though.
By the way, those who are interested in how we do, excuse me, sorry. The bubble tea. Those who are interested in how we do evaluate film, you can actually see some of how we evaluate film in our rookie profiles. You can see some of that in there. So if that is something that you're interested in, and by the way, I don't think there's like the thing that I hate the most about Twitter Dynasty, the Dynasty Twitter sphere. There's just so much like, I just feel like there's so much toxicity. I'll be honest, like. I open up Twitter and I just see people arguing all day over their opinions. And that's not what we want on this channel. We're open to conversations. We're open to like differing opinions. But I don't ever want this channel to be a place where people feel like they can't have opinions, where they can't, make a valid point for why they see something different to us. That's why I almost like don't even want to open Twitter sometimes because I just feel like there's so much toxicity out there. But there is always room for differing opinions on this channel. I just want to make that super, super clear.
Yeah, and that's okay. I'm happy to. I think we're happy to always discuss different opinions and thought processes, just moving forward. So
I really like Trippy's team. I just don't like Jalen Hurts. I love Trippy's team so far.
I like Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a Hurts guy though.
I like Jalen Hurts. I think it's great. I mean. There's a couple of good teams out there so far. Say, I was another guy I had on my queue. Hopefully that he was gonna fall. And there goes Kenny Pickett, his second wide quarterback for Daniel Lawrence.
Scuva, agree to disagree there, man. Agree to disagree. I mean, like I said, I just feel like the offense was completely set up for Deontay Johnson to win, and he did win. But the offense is going to have to change. They were the most predictable offense in the entire NFL. Do you know what I mean? It was never a question of what was happening with him. So I do think the offense has to change with his new quarterback. And I do think that's something that should be considered when drafting Deontay. I still think he's a very talented wide receiver, but everyone kind of hailing him as a top 10 dynasty wide receiver. I just think that they could be potentially mistaken based off of the changes that could be coming this offseason. So Jacobs out the board, then Tony. I kind of wanted Josh Jacobs to be my second running back, so that makes me a little bit sad, but what can you do?
What can you do?
Cry a river? Is that what I should do?
Team 4 is still killing it. Who's Team 4?
I feel like very hyped up right now for some reason. I have to pee really bad. That's why you don't drink tea during a draft.
Yeah.
Brian says, can the next If We Hit 100 Likes poll include Zach dyeing his hair purple? That would actually be awful for me in my real life. Like that would just be, I couldn't go out in public like that. That would be so bad. All right. On the board here.
They need to just take Calvin Ridley out.
No, I mean, obviously the ADP needs to be updated, right?
Ain't nobody drafted him, I feel like. But yeah, it definitely has to be.
Let me just double check my rankings here, but I'm pretty sure Bateman is going to be my next selection.
Cry me a river. Kyle, I like Michael Carter. He is I think he'll be the 3 down back there in New York, unless they bring in another running back.
I love Michael Carter as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if they brought in a complimentary back.
Yeah, so we gotta wait and see. He can definitely catch the ball as well. So maybe they do bring in a 1-2 back, and he's more of a 3rd down back that can catch the ball in the backfield. I still think he can play both roles. We just got to see what the Jets are going to be doing for sure in that scenario. So
love Bateman. I was glad I was able to grab him as my 4th wide receiver. I'm super happy with that. Loved him as a prospect. I'm happy with the landing spot. Didn't really have a lot of time to build chemistry with Lamar, and then still showed some flashes towards the end of the year. Trippy says, I've never had bubble tea. It sounds great. What is the best one to have? I've heard lots about it. For me, like the Premium Pearl, like the original, it's like this milky one. Kind of tastes like almost like sweet tea a little bit. It sounds weird, but it's really good. So that's one I would suggest.
Strawberry green tea with lychee and rainbow jelly. That's what you do.
Question: why do you think Olave should be above Garrett Wilson in London? The film and draft capital potential says otherwise. So with Drake London in particular, he's my wide receiver 6. We have a video on our channel that highlights the reasons why he's my wide receiver 6. But in short, this isn't the type of prospect that I like to bet on long term. We always would prefer players who have elite speed, or at least good speed, can create separation, and are better route runners. Yes, I know Drake London can win the contested catches, but that's a little bit harder to translate to the NFL than route running and speed. So for me, I am just not as high on Drake London. The speed is something that really, really worries me, as well as the lack of ability to create separation. You have to keep in mind, in the Pac-12, I mean, that's some of the worst defenses of the big conferences. The Pac-12 secondaries are a joke. So, look, I understand the love for London. I do think London's draft capital could be higher than Olave, but I'm taking Olave and Wilson over London personally. And when it comes to Olave and Wilson, in our scouting grades, they are honestly so close, guys. It's literally splitting hairs. Some people are upset that I have Olave over Wilson, but I didn't see anything from the combine, because I already had that before the combine. I didn't see anything from the combine to change my thoughts. And at the end of the day, you're kind of splitting hairs, for me at least, between Olave and Wilson. So I think you can make a case going either way. Similar players, both have great speed. Both are really, really great as route runners and separation creators. So I think you can make a case for either of those. For me, I just really, really loved Olave's film over Wilson. That doesn't mean that I'm right or wrong, but that's kind of what it came down to.
Right. Yeah, look, I like Garrett Wilson over Olave, and I think we kind of broke it down. If you go watch that Garrett Wilson video, we kind of talk about everything that he can do in the draft profile. I think he would be the more successful wide receiver. Hopefully, he probably lands in a better spot potentially. And obviously all the other factors and attributes that he can bring on the field.
I was really hoping, by the way, just quickly, that Claypool would fall to me, because while I feel like there's maybe some, regression coming for Deontay, I feel the opposite for Claypool. I think like a new quarterback could really open up his game. So I was really hoping that he would fall to me there. Now that he hasn't, I'm probably going to be looking towards another rookie here that I really love in Jahan Dotson. So I'm going to take Jahan Dotson. Obviously draft capital is going to be big for these guys, but if Dotson can get early second round capital, I feel like he can be an X factor for one of these teams here in the NFL. Really loved his film. Reminds me a little bit of a Deontay Johnson, like a Tyler Lockett, Deontay Johnson hybrid is what I see in Dotson. So we'll have to wait and see. You can obviously see now I'm going wide receiver heavy. I like to have a lot of wide receiver depth, so you'll see that in most of my drafts.
Yeah, just to answer some questions in the chat. Brian, favorite anime? I actually don't watch anime. I don't know if Zach does. But I don't watch anime.
I had friends in high school who watched anime, and they're like, "What's your favorite anime?" I was like, "My favorite animation? SpongeBob SquarePants, bro. Best anime of all time."
My favorite animation.
Yeah, that's my favorite anime. Steven, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sean, what's up, guys? What's your favorite opinion on older elite receivers like Keenan Allen and DeAndre Hopkins? I mean, a dynasty perspective for me, depending on where my team direction is going, I try to stray away from them and hope that they fall to me, like the 7-10 potentially, like where Keenan Allen went here. Even then, I still believe there's so many younger people that I will want to invest in and want on my team. So it just really depends on your team direction, and if you believe maybe they will get a little bit of an extension.
Here's what I would say, by the way, just quickly on that. I don't feel like there's many, maybe outside of Amari Cooper, I don't feel like there's many other like prime buy low wide receivers than D-Hop if you're a win now team. To me, D-Hop still has probably 2 years of really good production left. And if I'm a win now team, watch, D-Hop will probably go in the 10th round here or something like that. I don't want to, influence the draft, but his value is very low and no one wants to build around him. So if you're in a window right now where you can win in the next 2 years, D-Hop's someone I would definitely at least be looking to get. And I don't think it's even going to cost a first. I know that sounds crazy, but I don't think it would. Kyle says, on London, I feel like draft capital will speak whether or not he's fake or not. I don't want to sit here and say that he's fake either, because I definitely see how he wins in the NFL. I see how he can be successful. But everyone's assuming he's Mike Evans. What if he's just Mike Williams? Do you know what I mean? Like, we're all assuming he's the next Mike Evans. Well, what if he is just a big body who doesn't consistently get targets, and because he's not able to create separation? So it's harder for me to see an easier path for him to 100% succeed in the NFL. So
it's like,
I'm sorry, I have to pee so bad. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
No, go for it. I'll give you my thought process on Drake London. Zach is really nice. I and not in a nice way, like he's saying it nicely, but for me, like, it's not that I don't believe in Drake London. I just think that he can only do 50-50. That's what it feels like. Even though we've seen it on film and how he can be utilized in the slot everywhere else, I don't think the NFL or wherever team he's going to go to is going to utilize him the way they did in college. The good thing about Drake London is that he's just still very young. So the way he can develop and better his route running or be utilized in different ways in the NFL could grow. I don't know if I want to invest in that. I think I would rather invest in a Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, those guys over Drake London at this moment. I don't know. I'd rather be proven wrong than use a high draft capital on Drake London, in my opinion. More money. How did Mike Williams get 20 million per? Yeah, honestly, don't know. I mean, they hope that they're going to utilize him the same way they did this year, but it just has to be. It's going to be very interesting to see what Mike Williams. I was really hoping they moved on from Mike as well. I was hoping that Josh Palmer or one of these younger guys was going to have a better opportunity moving forward, but
that Mike Williams contract, that is such pain for any Josh Palmer owners.
Yeah,
that's tough.
But I wonder.
By the way, and just on the Mike Williams thing, like I said, is Drake London going to be Mike Williams or Mike Evans? The other factor here that we're not keeping in mind is it took the right quarterback to unlock Mike Williams. Do you know what I mean? So we have no idea where London's going to go or if the quarterback's going to be able to make him relevant. All right, so D-Hop goes at the 9.3. Pretty good value there if you are going win now. Yeah, I think Team 3 is going win now. Yeah, this is definitely a win now team from Casey here. I mean, this is what I'm saying, though. Like, you can get D-Hop. If you're a win now team, he still probably could be a top 12 wide receiver next year if Kyler's there. That's still a very real possibility. So this team is set up really, really well to win now. Now, your future is questionable, but you're looking good for the next couple of years.
Let's see, we got somebody signed or something. Signs to sign Harold Landry to a 5-year, $87 million extension.
Yeah, that was surprising, but
okay. Okay, bro.
All right, so Sky Moore goes off the board. I love that we're finally putting some respect on my boy Sky Moore's name. Love the combine from him. I think he showed a lot of what we needed to see. Oh, boy. Baby. All right, so let me just say this. Do I want to open my mouth yet and talk about that? No, I don't. I'm going to... I need an RB2 at this point. I'm going to go ahead and grab Miles Sanders. Am I going to grab Miles Sanders?
Yeah, you can't do that, bro. That's terrible.
Yeah, I'm going to grab Miles Sanders. I can't see it. My camera's terrible. Miles Sanders is my RB2.
I was trying to get Miles Sanders here.
No, I don't.
I was trying to get Miles Sanders on the turnaround right there. That's why I was saying don't get him.
No. Of course, Miles Sanders isn't my ideal RB2, but at this point in the 9th round, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, man. I was hoping I was going to take Miles Sanders and can't say it.
Hey, Larry, he says, Zach, where are the rankings at?
There goes.
Do you mean the videos or like our? Do you mean like the videos or our Patreon rankings? So, All of our rankings are available if you sign up to the Close Friends Plus tier and above over on Patreon. You can kind of see our breakdowns of each player. You can see our pro comps. You can see how we rank them, their physical attributes. You can see the video breakdowns, the 40 times, combine notes, strengths and weaknesses.
Oh, man. Miles and Zeke. I was hoping to get one of these guys, but come on, boys. This draft for me is absolutely terrible.
Momo says, my cousin is the money guy for them. Got to ask him about that. Interesting. Brian says, sneaky late tight ends that could make their way as top 12 dynasty options. Don't want to say anything just yet because a lot of those tight ends are going to start to go off the board here in the next couple rounds. We'll talk about them as they come off the board.
I don't know who to take here. I guess I'm going young. Give it to Singletary.
Singletary's not really young.
Give him the option. Give him the option. 24 years old. That's young, bro. That's younger than me. What you mean?
Fresh legs. If we go by that, then there's a lot of young players in the league.
Fresh legs, bro.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. By the way, if you haven't dropped a like, it would mean a lot. Our like goal is 75 likes on this stream, so it means a ton if you could help us get there. Maybe we don't, but even if you drop a like, show some love. That would be amazing. So then we see Spiller go off the board, then Gesicki. So I'm not a big Isaiah Spiller fan, but to be honest, like I was considering him at the 9.
I was considering.
I definitely would have taken him after Miles over any of the other running backs.
I was considering him at the freaking where I took Singletary, but I was just like, I don't know where Isaiah Spiller is gonna go, because I'm not high on him either. But I'm not in love with. I love my wide receivers and my quarterbacks. I love everything besides my running backs, and you know how important for me to get running backs are. You know, like maybe I should have taken Bobbin like I'm Dobbins instead of Garrett Wilson there, and then got St. Brown instead of Chris Godwin and Claypool earlier. Yeah, you kind of have to reach there. So I got to get a running back early. Shite. Hot Scheiße.
I'm going to grab Goddard here. All right, looks like we just got a deposit from someone for the league. Joseph, thanks for submitting your deposit there.
Yeah, I just see that here as well.
Let's
change it to 30 seconds here, brother.
Right, yeah. Sorry, guys, we're gonna change the clock to 30 seconds, real quick. That way, we're not all here forever.
Oh, on prod.
Okay, so Pollard, then Harris. You know, and honestly, I think you can make a case for Pollard over Sanders. I think you can make a case for him over maybe Singletary and Spiller potentially. I mean, I think he could take over that backfield this year. I could be wrong, but I think it's a possibility.
Could definitely be.
Let's go, team! Let's go!
Hey, Cortland Sutton at the 10-9. That's pretty decent value, man.
Yeah, now, I mean, Cortland Sutton is going a lot higher. Before, he was not going at the 10-9. I think he was going after the 10th round here. Maybe like 12, 13 potentially. I could be wrong.
That's pretty good value there, though. Although Lawrence now has Sutton and Judy on his team. Brian says, new idea for a show. Let our wives/girlfriends draft our team. We actually planned on doing that last year. We should do that, Badaki.
Yeah, we should probably still try to do it.
All right, Juju, Kyron Williams. I believe that's Wandale Robinson off the board. JJ says, I have a feeling Gesicki will get a massive contract extension from the Dolphins and has a future with Tua. You know, I believe he was signed to the franchise tag.
Yeah, I thought that was going to happen, and then he got franchise tagged. So I'm interested to see why they didn't.
Yeah.
I'm just interested in why they didn't sign him to maybe even a 2-year deal, you know, 3-year deal, whatever the case may be. I'm not expecting a big deal from Mike, but maybe they're looking. My thought process is they were looking to get a younger tight end.
Maybe.
He's only 26 though. Like it's not like he's old or anything.
No, especially for the tight end position. There goes Calvin. Yeah, hard to say where you should be drafting Calvin Ridley at this point. I mean, will he ever be what he was. Probably not. Okay, so it was Justin Ross. My bad. Yeah, then Davis Mills goes off the board. Kyle makes a good point. Watch Tim Patrick be, I think you meant Russ's main target. It wouldn't surprise us. Hey, I mean, I love Judy. I think Judy's going to be the guy, but would it surprise anyone if Tim Patrick goes out and balls this year?
That's what I said earlier. I was like, I won't. I know Jerry Jeudy is probably the most talented wide receiver on that team, but Russ loves to throw the ball deep. And are they going to use Jeudy as a deep ball threat? Or are they going to use Tim Patrick as that? Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen moving forward.
It's a very good question. It's a very good question.
Oh, man.
So James Cook goes off the board. Then Rachaad White. Okay, so Jerome Ford now goes off the board.
I'm just getting sniped at running backs here today.
It's not really a running back I'm in love with. I still believe in Rondale Moore. Despite what everyone's saying, I do think that he's going to be utilized much more this year. Hard to succeed when you don't really have the opportunities that you need. So
it's hard.
I'm going to take Rondale Moore here in the 11th round. I still am a Rondale Moore believer.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I don't believe in Rondale, and it's just really hard to really hard to see it happen for me. But I'd love to be proven wrong in that scenario. Ron the Don, fastest guy I think last year. I am speed.
Ron. Yeah, look, I still believe in Rondale. You have to keep in mind, this team was obviously wanting to win the Super Bowl, like most teams, but they were in that direction. How is Rondale going to get targets over D-Hop, AJ Green, Christian Kirk? Now, probably AJ Green and Christian Kirk are gone because they're not going to be able to compete for what Kirk's going to get in the market. That opens up an opportunity for Rondale. Rondale had if you watch the games, it wasn't very smart the way that they used him. So I'm hoping that they now make him a more necessary part of this offense. We'll have to wait and see. But in the 11th round, I'm more than happy to take a risk there on Ron the Don.
Yeah. The thought process I have with the Cardinals is that I think they should be drafting a wide receiver, or getting somebody into the free agency.
I'd rather them draft a running back, but we'll see.
Yeah, that can happen as well. They have the 23rd pick, so yeah, maybe one of these running backs can fall to them, or they can get
my
somebody
ideal
else.
spot for Breece Hall would be Arizona. Don't re-sign James Conner. Don't re-sign Edmonds. Just draft Breece Hall. If you get him in the first, you have that 5th-year option. You have your running back for the next, 8 years? I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the Michael Gallup pick, JJ. I like the Michael Gallup pick there in the 11th round. I think that's a smart move.
Yeah, we believe so as well, JJ. Another thing that freaking Jerry Jeudy likes to do is make moves for big guys. These wide receivers. He's probably looking at one of these wide receivers in this draft and probably gonna potentially get him.
Albert O.
Yeah, there he goes.
There goes the big O.
12-6.
That was one of the players who I said is under the radar. I mean, look, if you're on the Twitter sphere or whatever, you're going to hear Albert O's name everywhere, but he has a chance to be top 15 with Russ coming into town.
Albert, are you get it? Albert, okay? Albert, are you okay? You know that song?
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Lavishka. It's a bit high for Lavishka, no?
I mean,
if you believe in the guy, you believe in him.
Same thing last year. Nico?
Hey, Chuba's a great pick there, man. I should have drafted Chuba. I'm an idiot.
Got the handcuff, bro. Got the handcuff. Still getting Calvin no matter what.
At this point, why not take a chance on Calvin? Yeah, he's going to sit on your bench for a year. I don't know. I might take a chance on Calvin in the 12th round. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Round 15 will be the last round here, guys.
Man, we've been trying to book our flights for Fiji.
Yeah.
And we've been going back and forth because we have credit with Flight Center because we booked our flights before pandemic to go to New York.
Yeah.
And we've been going back and forth for like weeks, not weeks, maybe like a week and a half. And I've been calling them. I was like, oh, hey, like who helped you before? And I'll say, oh, this person helped me before. And she'd be like, oh, well, they're not in. Like, can you call back tomorrow? I was like, no, can you just like book our flight now? She was like, okay. So we try to book the flight. And then she just never sends us an email. And then 2 or 3 days go by. I call again. I was like, hey, like, what's going on? Like, can I get this email? I was like, yeah, sure. I'll send it to you. They send it to the wrong email again. And then it goes up by like $60, $70 by the fly. And I was like, can we get the old fly? Like, it's not my fault you sent it to the wrong email. You know?
That's weird.
So now they're trying to like give us a whole new package.
By the way, I put a poll out on our page. Already has 56 votes. Put a poll out about an hour ago on where you would rank Jerry Jeudy in Dynasty now. So check that out afterwards in the community tab if you guys are interested. Alan, if you're watching, you did. It looks like you're now on the Dynasty tier. Expect a message from us here soon, brother. We're gonna send you a message with some information on what's next in our follower leagues for you. Thank you so much for signing up. Is Rashad Penny on the board still? No, someone took him. Okay, damn.
You ain't going that low no more, dog.
I'm going to grab Jimmy G here as my third quarterback. I feel good about that. We see you running QBs off the board. Interesting. Trubisky goes ahead of Jimmy G. Do you think Trubisky is going to be a starter, Badaki?
I think it's a mental thing for Daniel Jones, but I won't be surprised if they like Mitch Trubisky over Daniel Jones. They both have a relationship with Mitch Trubisky, Brian Daboll and Joe Shane. So I personally don't think it's gonna happen, but I won't be surprised if it does. I'm gonna take your other guy.
DJ Chark, I love it. By the way, Kevin, he says, what happens to Jordan Love? I think to me, honestly, it doesn't make sense for them to keep Jordan Love at this point. You trade Jordan Love away. You get some sort of compensation in return. And as someone who roots for Washington, like, I would love to see Jordan Love fall to Washington or get traded to Washington. Maybe we send a third-round pick or something. Because I actually really enjoyed watching him play this year versus the Chiefs and versus the Lions. I know the stats weren't extremely impressive, but I'm still all aboard Jordan Love. So I would really, really like to see him get a starting opportunity, and I think he will. Kyle, I agree with you, man. Hollywood Brown is falling too far. I definitely agree. He's a wide receiver that I really, really love. I actually have him ranked, which a lot of people aren't going to be happy about. I have Hollywood ranked in my top 24.
That's not bad.
So a lot of people won't like that, but I am a big Hollywood believer as well.
Yeah. I think we both like Hollywood, so.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I was looking up to see how many years Aaron Rodgers sat behind, Brett Favre, and it was 3 years. So not saying that I wonder, I mean, why would they sign a massive deal for Aaron Rodgers to come back? I don't know. I won't be surprised if we're in this whole motion again next year. Aaron Rodgers is up in the air trying to see if he's going to come back, play for the Packers in 2023. Like that will not be a surprise for me. And they signed this whole deal, but he has it now. Who cares? I don't know. There's just so many, like, that's why I'm just still out on Aaron Rodgers. But if that 4-year deal is real, that'll be very, very interesting. Saquon at the 7th. Yeah, man. The community doesn't really like Saquon. I mean, it's kind of hard with the injury history and, all the ups and downs. But, I like Saquon. I definitely would have taken him if he fell to me.
I don't think I would have taken him over any of the guys who went before him, to be honest. Probably Derrick Henry. I definitely would have taken Saquon over Derrick Henry. Yeah, I would have taken him over Michael Carter as well, to be fair. But I mean, we're talking about a guy who hasn't been on the field for the last 2 years, always getting injured, and I do think he lost a step. He's still going to be good. I think he still has the potential to be top 15, but I do think he slightly lost a step. So, and the fact that we're not even sure if he's going to get a long-term deal, that's slightly concerning, right? I mean, so I get why people dropped him a little bit, but I think that's a good value there in the 7th.
Yeah, gotta wait and see. Should we start doing draft grades?
Yes. Let me let people know.
Let's see. All right, Trippy. I'll try to respond to you as soon as possible. After this, Zach and I are gonna talk about some stuff, and I have to work technically after this. So I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. I don't want you to feel like I'm ghosting you. Just give me like 2-3 hours, and then you'll probably be sleeping or whatever by then. If you're not, then we can talk. But
go ahead and
we'll go from there.
A grade here.
But I'll give you a grade, brother. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones, Jared Goff. Love your quarterbacks. T. Higgins, Devonta Smith, Hollywood Brown, Mike Evans, Wandale, Alec Pierce, and KJ Osborne. Travis Etienne, Michael Carter, obviously, and then Dalton Schultz and Jalen Wiedemeyer. I think this team is really good. I like your running backs. I like your wide receivers. I love your quarterbacks. This is just our opinions, but just nitpicking. I hope that I wish you got more depth in the running back position. I get it's a mock draft, you know. You went high upside in these wide receivers, which is okay. Alec Pierce, great value at 13-1, or maybe that's where he's going. Wandale the 10. I think I would have taken a running back over Wandale, for example. That's my thought process. But depending on who you believe in, you know, I probably would have taken a Jerome Ford, Rashad White, James Cook, potentially over Wandale, just to get that running back depth. But I really like this team, especially with the tight ends. Dalton Schultz, your quarterback's fantastic. I mean, this is a good overall team. I want to give this another nitpicky thing is probably I would have gone somewhere else instead of getting Mike Evans. I would have taken a chance on a Sky Moore, maybe even David Bell.
Team,
but I definitely get why you took Mike Evans. But I do like the team. I'm gonna give it a.
I feel like the running back
plus,
depth. Yeah,
A minus.
There's not
B
enough
plus.
running back depth there to give a B plus.
Yeah.
But I like this team though. I really, really like this team. I'm not a Hurts guy. I mean, if that was,
I like it.
People won't like that I'm going to say this, but if that was Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson or Justin Fields or someone else that I believe in more, you know, this is an A team for me.
Seahawks are releasing Bobby Wagner.
Are they really? That is huge, actually. That is huge news.
Come to the New York Football Giants, brother.
Where will Bobby go? You know what? He wants to win a Super Bowl. He is really up there in his years. He is going to go to either the Chiefs, the Rams, the Packers. He's going to go somewhere on a team-friendly deal. The Bills, maybe? We'll see. Okay. All right, Revenger. We've got Patrick Mahomes, Malik Willis, Jameis Winston. Our wide receivers are Debo, Tyreek, Darnell Mooney, David Bell, Justin Ross, Calvin Ridley, the Gambler. Did you see that Madden meme? It was pretty funny. Josh Palmer. No, running backs are Kenneth Walker, older Kenneth Walker and Nick Chubb, Kyron Williams. Tight ends are Pat and Cole, which we like Pat and Cole. Okay, this is interesting. This is really, really interesting. You know, obviously, I would prefer to have a more solidified quarterback too. I said that throughout this draft. You guys heard me talk about that. So I'm not in love with the depth at the quarterback room outside of Patty, but I do love Malik. He is my quarterback one in this draft, just purely based off of the upside. The running back room, it's deep enough for me to start. You know, I think you can make some trades and make this running back room work. Kyron, I'm struggling to see Kyron really get the draft capital needed to get a chance straight away. So this pick might be less valuable by this time next year is what I'm trying to say. Maybe there was a better running back on the board. Or maybe we should have prioritized running backs a little bit earlier. I like the wide receiver room, Debo, Tyreek, Mooney, Bell. There's definitely enough there for me. So overall, really the only qualm I have with the team is the quarterback depth along with the running backs after the top two. So this is a really good team. I'm going to give it a B+. It's just not there for the A's. Quarterbacks are real important for me.
Okay. KCB, Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, Davis Mills, love your quarterbacks. Cooper Kupp, D Hop, Juju, Christian Kirk, Tyler Boyd, Terrace Marshall, with Antonio Gibson, Cam Akers, Saquon Barkley, James Conner, and Rashad Penny with Travis Kelce. I think it's clear it's a win now team. You do have a little bit of youth in your running backs with Gibson, Akers, and say just a little bit, but and Penny actually. So everywhere else looks more focused on a win now team. I like this team. Once again, just nitpicking on little things. Let's see what you could have done differently. I like the Akers pick. Actually, that's it. I actually like this team. This is a win now team. It makes sense. You know where you're going. Every single person you're going to start here with good running back depth, good wide receiver depth, with Kirk, D Hop, and then Juju as a flex just in case, or a fill-in, or Tyler Boyd if T Higgins or Jamar Chase goes down. I think that's fantastic. So I think this is an A team. This is an A team for me. And Zach's not here, so that's okay. I really like this team. I like this team. Say less. I'll just do D Lawrence as Zach is still away. Yeah, we heard that Bobby Wagner just got released. It's crazy. I say come to the Giants, but we'll see what happens. D Lawrence, Joe, Moneybag Burrows, Kenny Pickett with Jordan Love, CMC, Joe Mixon, Stephon Diggs, Jerry.
Sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
No, it's okay. I went to the other team, by the way. Yeah, Jerry Jeudy, Mike Williams, Cortland Sutton, and Roberto Woods. You got CMC. Did I say CMC, Joe?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Hold on. I kind of went. I didn't say Aaron Jones, Chuba Hubbard, and Tyler Allgeier with Trey McBride and Darren Waller. I was kind of all over the place there. What's the thought process? I like it. I like your team. Okay, let me tell you that right now. Your quarterback 2 is in question. I think Kenny Pickett will be a starter. You just hope that a team believes in him. So, and then the depth with Jordan Loves, you hope that something can change. So we'll see what happens. I love that you got the handcuff with CMC and Chuba. So that's fine. Joe Money Bags and then Aaron Jones makes sense because you got as your third running back. Love the Waller pick. For me, maybe it's the wide receivers. I get Mike Williams just re-signed. I think I would have taken a chance on somebody else there. I don't know why. I don't like the re-signing of Mike Williams, not because of it's not because of his talent. I just don't believe that they're going to continue to give him the ball. But who knows? Another team that is a solidified in all these places. I'm gonna give this a B+.
Okay, B+.
So I gave KCB an A because it's a win now team. I felt like he hit all the marks everywhere, and then D Lawrence.
As far as a win now, like clear strategy, yeah, Casey did really well. All right, Connor.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, Tua Tagovailoa, Samuel Howell, CeeDee Lamb, DJ Moore, Sky Moore, the Moores, Watson, Christian, Nico Collins,
Watson, Christian,
Jacoby, and Marquise Callaway. Someone help this kid out right here. Me. Running backs are Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs, James Cook, Chase Edmonds. Tight end is TJ Hawkinson. I'm not even going to pretend like I don't love this team because I do. I love this team. You got a top 5 dynasty tight end. You have 2 quarterbacks that I really believe in Kyler and Tua. A lot of people aren't going to like Tua there at the 4.8. I love Tua there at the 4.8. I'm completely okay with that. You should go check out our buy or sell Tua video if you want to see my full reasoning why. One of the most efficient quarterbacks last year. And I think he's going to improve under this new coaching staff as well, who actually believes in him. So I'm obsessed with that. I love it. I love CeeDee Lamb. I'm okay with DJ Moore where he went. I like the wide receivers that you bet on late. Sky Moore, Watson. Ideally you would rather have a more solidified wide receiver 3. So that might be one thing I'll pick at there. But Breece, would I have taken a running back over him there? Maybe. But I'm okay with it. So I like this team. not as much running back depth as you'd want either, but we have to kind of pick and choose at certain points. This is an A- for me. What did you give Casey?
I give him an A.
Okay, well, this is an A- for me. I really like the team. Okay. It gets in the A's.
Calder, 1.6. Jamar Chase, Kadarius Toney, Gabriel Davis, Laviska, Jalen Tolbert, with Kyle Pitts and Noah Fant. Then you got Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Matt Corral, and then J.K. Dobbins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Tony Pollard, Rashad White. Yeah, I also have Kyle Trask on there, by the way. This is a good team. I like it. I think for me, what falls is the it's hard because the wide receiver depth is kind of there. Maybe the running backs is what lacks. Like get Clyde you get him there at the 8-7, decent value. You're running back to it. There's so many questions with Clyde. What's going to happen? There's so many people. Maybe I would have liked for you to have invested in a running back early potentially. I think this is the big reason why I don't like going a tight end in the first 4 rounds, because you lose so much value in a different spot that I feel like it's a lot more important. But I get how solidifying that tight end is so important in this perspective, especially with Kyle Pitts and his talent. So for me, I'm gonna give this team. Maybe you could have gotten another running back where you got Matt Corral. How about that? You couldn't have gotten Nick Chubb or Michael Carter instead of getting Matt Corral, or Josh Jacobs instead of getting Matt Corral. You still have some good running back depth. But for me, I'm going to give this just a B flat, B minus. That's where I'm at. And Zach is still still away, so that's okay. I'll go to Garrett. Garrett, brother. Garrett with the hacks. Lamar Jackson with Desmond Ridder, Mitchell Trubisky.
So sorry. I have literally the smallest bladder in the world. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Jalen Waddle, DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman, Jameson Williams, Brandon Ayuk. I love your wide receiver room. Then you got Elijah Mitchell, AJ Dillon, Damian Harris, Jerome Ford. And then your tight ends is Albert, are you okay? With Brevin Jordan. You got Russell Gage as well. I mean, everything, your wide receivers, your quarterbacks, I think are decent. Your quarterbacks are okay. Who's going to be your quarterback too? Who knows? But hey, that's all right. I mean, you're taking a chance. Maybe Desmond starts, or maybe Trubisky wins a job there. Your running backs, this is where it kind of falls off. Once again, maybe I hope that I would hope that you would invest in a running back early. I mean, I didn't do the best example of doing that this draft. Maybe I would have taken a Michael Carter over Jameson Williams potentially, because you have a Waddle, DK, and Michael Pittman, and I think that's really, really strong. So if you would get Elijah Mitchell and a Michael Carter, Michael Pittman and a Josh Jacobs or something like that.
I can't lie, I really like the running back room.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's different opinions. I know I get AJ Dillon could be a 50-50, Damian Harris, whatever the case may be. I love Jerome Ford, me. Just solidifying that RB2, the really, really strong RB2, I think would have taken this team over the top. But this team is so good. The wide receivers, the running backs, the wide receivers, the quarterbacks, and the tight ends now with the upside there with Albert, are you okay? So
I love this team outside of quarterback too. Yeah.
B+.
I think as well with the unknowns, Garrett, of Ridder, you probably have to go more of a Jimmy G, Carson Wentz over Trubisky. I love this team, by the way. I mean, if this was like a Kirk Cousins, or you know what I mean, like I would feel even better. This is a great team. Josiah. Justin Jefferson, Devonta Adams, Drake London, Hunter Renfrow, John's got a Mechie. Running backs are DeAndre Swift, Alvin Kamara, Zeke, Zamir White, Khalil Herbert. Quarterbacks, we got Cousins, Carr, Strong, Wentz, and our tight ends are Andrews. So I like the wide receiver room. Obviously, you got JJ, you got Adams. I can't argue with where he went. I just find it hard to build around Adams in a startup. Then we've got London, Renfrow, Mechie. So I'm okay with the wide receiver room. I like it. Obviously, I mean, JJ, how could it get much better outside of Chase? Good running back room. I like the running back depth. But the clear weakness of your team, and it's real obvious, is the quarterbacks, right? I mean, Cousins and Carr, more ideally, you would really want those as your quarterback twos instead of ones. And even as quarterback 2s, I'm not super comfortable, like I said on the stream, with them being my quarterback 2s. So to have both of those guys, and then you kind of had to compensate later on in the draft with Strong and Wentz. So the quarterback room is a real weakness here. And those are just not the guys I want to build around for my future. So again, like I do love Kirk Cousins, guys. I don't dislike Kirk Cousins. I just don't want him as my quarterback 1. So this is a B flat team. It's a really good team, but I feel like you have to have stronger quarterbacks in Dynasty.
Okay. Runner. Najee, Javonte, Austin Eckler.
She's a runner. She's a track star.
With James Robinson, this is a crazy running back room. Aaron Rodgers, Ryan Tannehill, Baker Mayfield. Crazy that you got these guys. I think Baker Mayfield, who cares, in my opinion. But, I mean, Rodgers and Tannehill, that's great. You know, Deontay Johnson, Keenan Allen, Michael Thomas, Allen Robinson, Brandon Cooks with OBJ. The only thing I would have done differently here is taken someone else over Michael Thomas. You know? Take Hunter Renfrow, Christian Watson, Cortland Sutton, Juju Smith. If you guys have been following, you know us. We're not a huge fan. Not that we're not a huge fan of Michael Thomas. We think just his time is done. You know, we don't want to invest in him. Is he even going to play? Like
his time as a wide receiver 1 is done.
Yeah, and I don't think I want to invest in that or just take any chances of that. Maybe at the 9-10 potentially, but I mean, this would have given you an A in my opinion. Because I think you hit every market here. I love Deontay. Keenan Allen is decent. Allen Robinson is still out there. Brandon Cooks is still out there. So I like this team, even though it's kind of a mix. Because you have the 2 young running backs, the young receiver, and Deontay, George Kittle, and everything. So I'm gonna give this a B+. I really like this team for me. You have a good mix of good futuristic pieces and good solid veterans, in my opinion.
All right, JJ, Dak Prescott, Trey Lance. Quarterbacks, running backs are Dalvin Cook, David Montgomery, Derrick Henry, Spiller, Madison, Melvin, Cordero. Wide receivers are Burks, Amari Cooper, George Pickens, Michael Gallup, Tyler Lockett. Tight end is Gesicki. All right, so on the edges, you do have to reach. I just don't love building around Derrick Henry. And there are, like, I don't love building around Cook and Derrick Henry in particular. Both guys on their second contracts, both guys who are aging, who have had some injury issues. So I'm not a huge fan of that. And I'm not also a huge fan of combining that with the fact that you went young at the wide receiver room, right? Burks is your wide receiver 1. Pickens your wide receiver 3. So to me, like, there's just such an up and down with the direction. Are the running backs going to fit the timeline that you have with Lance with these other wide receivers? So for me, like, Cook wouldn't have been the pick there. I know you have to reach, but let me see who are some other running backs on the board. And a lot of people aren't going to agree with this. That's okay. But was Dobbins still there? Yeah, Dobbins was there. Gibson was there. Etienne. Was Mixon still there? Mixon went already. But you kind of get where I'm coming from. Like, I would prefer to try and get someone who's not on that second contract yet, still a little bit younger, that I can build around. And then Derrick Henry, like, I can't really complain of him being at the 6-1, but again, who was on the board at that point? Michael Carter was on the board. I guess you would take Derrick Henry over him, right? Nick Chubb, though, I probably would have taken Nick Chubb. You can make a case for Saquon Barkley. So, yeah, and then with the wide receiver room itself, there are questions around Burks and Pickens. Like, we love them as prospects, but there's no guarantee that they will both work out or either of them will. So there's a lot of unknowns on this team for me. Kind of lacks a clear direction for me. I do love the value of Gallup here at the 11-12. Lockett, there's rumors that Lockett will be traded. Expect him to be traded, or I think DK and Lockett. I think they could do a clean sweep, guys, with the way it's looking. So maybe it could be good to try and get on those values. That's good value there.
That'd be crazy.
So I love the quarterbacks, but there's a lot of uncertainty for me in the wide receiver room. and I don't know that the running backs fit the vision for the team. So this is going to be a B- for me, C+ type category. And again, just my opinion, doesn't mean it's right or wrong, doesn't mean it's black or white. Okay, I would say B- is a much more fair grade than a C+, considering that there is still very good talent on the team. I just think that after this draft, if this was a real draft, you would look at your roster and you would say, man, where am I going? Like, what is, and then you would probably try and move off of Cook, and you couldn't do it for what you wanted to. You would try and maybe move off of Henry, couldn't do it for what you wanted to. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's where we just try mocks, and if something works out, great. If it doesn't, then we try and kind of see what else that we can do. So yeah. Who would be the mock drafter of the night then?
Well, I think I would say we have two. We would have a win now team, which will be KCB.
Yeah.
And then the other team that you gave an A to, who was that? Connor.
I think if we had to choose one, like who chose the direction and executed the best, I think that would be Casey.
Yeah, he just
even though I really love Connor's, I just think Casey really chose a clear direction and went out and executed it. So
that's how I would do it. Like if we want to do two, we can do a win now winner, and if there is one in the draft, and then a futuristic winner with young pieces, people that you can build upon with. So yeah, man.
All right, huge shout out to Connor and Casey, mock drafters of the night. Congratulations. Come on, give it up in the chat. Brian says if the next video gets 75 likes, Zach has to wear a Kirk Cousins jersey every stream until the NFL draft starts. Gosh. I love Kirk. You like that? Bro, we need to find that graphic. We need to make that graphic somehow. So I can just push a button and it comes up.
You say that every time.
Anyway, I do like Kirk Cousins. I hate that it's coming off that I don't. Guys, this was really fun. Thanks for joining us. We have a ton of content coming out. We have a Dynasty mock draft tomorrow. Hang around for a sec if you want to hear what's going on with us. First thing I'll say is, I mean, even on stream, I think we had 2 more people sign up to our leagues. The second Dynasty League is open. Okay, so if you want to play Dynasty with us, check out the link I put in the chat just there, patreon.com/fantasylandfam. If you are interested in playing Dynasty with us, redraft with us. If you just want to get our rankings, if you just want to get unlimited advice from us, there's a bunch of different tiers, ways for you to support us and also get cool things back in return. The other thing is we do have a redraft channel. Okay, so if you are looking, for redraft content as well as DFS advice, prop bets, those kind of things, check out our main channel I just posted in the chat. What else? Join the Discord if you haven't joined the Discord yet.
Yeah, join the Discord, suggested content, anything that you guys want to see us create, any videos coming up, thought processes that you want to hear from us. Join our Discord, go to suggested content ideas, put it in there, and we'll try to get to it as soon as possible. We're doing a bunch of that. We did a bunch of that this past week.
I think someone else just signed up for Patreon right now. Daniel Macy, come on down.
Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate
this
you.
This second league is filling up quick, guys.
Yeah, I think that's, I don't even know. I think it's more than halfway now.
It's way more than halfway now. I think there's only maybe 2 or 3 spots left. Shout out to Daniel Macy. Hey, Daniel and Alan, both of you guys sign up for our Dynasty Leagues on stream. We will send you messages here on Patreon soon. Expect that to come. And huge love. Huge love.
Huge.
For signing
love, guys.
up.
Thank you so much. A lot. We're really excited to play fantasy with you guys, and for you guys to be part of the community. Just a bunch of bants in the fantasy chat already in our Charlie leagues, in our Alpha and Bravo leagues, and now in this league is going to be great. So we're excited. Yeah. Thank you so much for supporting us, and Connor, thank you so much for coming through and mock with us as well. It's an awesome first experience in the mock. Been following for a while, but never joined one. Yeah, and if you want to join a mock draft in the future and you still haven't
been able to.
Message us in maybe the next time we do a mock draft 15 minutes before. We'll try to get you in. We'll try to give everyone an opportunity to mock with us, because we know that everyone are trying to mock at the same time. So just send us a message and we'll try to get you in.
All right. One little thing that you need to know this week with the content. Some of the content that we have recorded, we might not have been able to have known. It's pre-recorded. We record on 2 days each week. So some of the stuff that comes out about Amari Cooper, which will release tomorrow, we might not have updated information, okay? So you just need to know that. Same with the buy low quarterbacks and late round sleepers. So some of the stuff that we're going to record, you just have to know that we might not have had that context. But really excited for those videos to come out. Excited for you to see them. And we will see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a rookie mock. I think that's it. Right. Everyone's still watching. Appreciate you guys. Hey, if you haven't dropped a like yet, help us maybe get to 50 likes. If you haven't hit a like yet, you might be the reason we hit that together. On your way out, why not? Just hit the like button. Show your boys some love. And I think that's it. That's, I mean, honestly, Vidaki, it's crazy. When did we start this channel? Maybe 2 months ago? And we're almost monetized? 2 months ago. We're almost at 1,000. You guys are crazy. The support has been
it's crazy.
Unbelievable.
The support's been crazy. I mean, I think it's going to be even crazier when redraft is kind of full swing in the other channel.
Yeah.
We're going to have to be knocking double the content. Well, here's a redraft perspective, and now here's a dynasty perspective. You know, like it's going to be like that. It's going to be crazy.
Huge love, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night. I'm sure there'll be more craziness happening. Free agency is coming soon. Peace.